Good afternoon, Mentorship Traders. We are on a Sunday afternoon. This is an exception. This is 23rd of Feb 2020. I'm doing this on a Sunday afternoon because the last two Wednesdays, the last Wednesday, we're not able to conduct the session because I was traveling to Mumbai for the Mentorship Traders Meet. And for those who follow me on various social media platforms, have asked me that the day before that Wednesday's session upload was missing. Now that's because one of us had switched on their webcam. So what I will do today, there will be three parts of today's interaction. First 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about our recently held Mentorship Traders Meet in Mumbai. Then we're going to talk about the market this week, and then I'm going to attach that Wednesday's market view, okay, which I did not purposely upload. So having said that, let me quickly tell you what fun we had. Those who have joined us and were a part of it, it will be a nice recall. So the Mentorship Traders Meet, where we conducted it in a place called Sun and Sands. This is in Juhu, and the beautiful thing about this place was it was right in front of the ocean. Now, just give me a second. I think I'm struggling a little bit with this go-to meeting popping up here. So what I'll do is I'll quickly disconnect this. Just give me 5 seconds. I can minimize this. All right. So the beautiful thing about the place was it was right on the ocean in Juhu. Those who are in Mumbai, you can go there in the afternoon or during the sunset, sit there right in front of the ocean and enjoy a nice drink looking at the sunset. This was my room from where the left-hand side is my room. This one from where I could sit and track the markets. This was the afternoon when I reached there. This one is the room. And this one is what I'm talking about. If you're there in Mumbai, you should go there, sit right in front of the ocean, enjoy the sunset, and you can talk to your friends and enjoy a beautiful sunset from there. What happened during the event was fun. It was good fun. This was one of these pictures wherein we are talking about how to place orders during live markets. We had a beautiful mix of people from age group from I said 2021 to all the way up till 55. I must be telling someone really seriously over here. This is how it should be done. Vikas ji and Rahul ji both are from Mumbai, and they were right in front of me, enjoying a moment during the session. This was an interesting part post lunch. Tried our best to keep everyone awake, talking about how to place automated orders using a system. So we're talking about how to place various types of orders like cover order, bracket order, scalping, etc. All the participants enjoyed the session. They had their laptops. We did some trades. Surprisingly, most of them made money. In fact, I think all of them made money. Jindal Steel and Power was one trade which gave close to 30K profit for someone who was right there during the meet. This was post the event in the afternoon or evening, I would say. Having a mentorship trader who's close to 6 feet 3 inch actually helps a lot, because he was like our human selfie stick. We had a good fun on the beach, and we took some pictures, a lot of pictures. Got to know each other really well. All these got to know each other kind of bits are recorded in terms of small videos, which I will be uploading on the YouTube one by one. So that was our Mumbai's Mentorship Traders Meet. I hope you guys had fun, those who were there, and those who missed it, next time for sure. And the one that's coming up is going to be in Delhi. I'm going to share the details of that soon, but That's what it was. Now, let's talk about the markets. All right, let's talk about the markets here. We have, I have the Iris software open in front of you, and I'll be using that. We can quickly open the um, trading view. Uh, that's generally what we do, just to check how the channels are playing out. So let's look at the top-down approach starting from the Nifty weekly chart. Nothing much, you're still within the channel. Choppy, look at the size of the body and the size of the upper shadow, lower shadow. Right, clear sign of choppiness in the market. The long-term trend is intact. It's hovering within that yellow channel border. Not much takeaway from the weekly chart as of now. We stay bullish on the long term. Is the daily chart which is struggling at this gap down. This one, it's got some resistances up here. It's come off, consolidating for last 2 days. Now, if I turn this into a line chart, I would like to check few things like what's happening to something like this. So we will, of course, keep this blue channel intact, because after the breakdown from the blue channel, it has faced resistances up here. But another channel I think is possible to be drawn here, something like this, which is going to hold this falling price. So this channel is an important one going forward. This red one, so let me just give it a slightly darker color. So this guy is the channel within which the market is trading right now. We need a breakout above the upper border of this channel for some strength to come in. Till that happens, I think from the daily chart, this chart, we are likely to face selling pressure. One time frame lower, 75-minute, so that channel is reflecting here as well. We can take it out. Let me go back to the daily chart. We can double click this, go to visibility and show only on daily. So in that case, it will only show on the daily chart and not in the 75-minute. 75-minute, we had this channel. We're going to take this out. And 75-minute, essentially, I can see resistances here, which is there on the daily chart, the levels. And on the downside, we have this small rising gap, this one, as you can see. So this is where the 12,000, psychological 12,000, 12,040, 12,000 level act as support. And on the upside, 12,200 as the resistance. But the important thing, the view essentially comes out from the daily chart, where this red channel is the one that the market has to take out on the upside. And then we can expect some further rally. What about the Bank Nifty? Well, the Bank Nifty's, let's start with the weekly chart, is similar to what we saw in the daily of on the weekly of Nifty. Small body with long shadows, essentially choppiness. And we have a couple of Fibonacci's drawn here. We have this was 30,300 kind of level from where it's found some support. It's bouncing back. But the bigger picture is this red channel. The index is very much intact within it. And we should look at this correction as a healthy correction to this long-term trend. Daily chart, I will do the same with the Bank Nifty just to check whether it's behaving the same or not. So yes, to some extent, we can have a channel here as well on the bank nifty, but it's the nifty one which is far more cleaner. So this is the falling channel. I will change this color to a rising channel for, yeah. So there we go. This is the, yeah. So this is the similar kind of a channel that we have on bank nifty. If those who are not in our mentorship traders community and have missed out on the video that we made last to last Wednesday, we've been talking about the fact that we expect the markets to ease off, and you will check that video later. I'll attach that with this one. We've been bearish, and so far it's playing out well. This fall coming from the bearish engulfing, the 1334 has rolled down, so we have a downtrending phase for both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. So we take a look at the 75-minute, and you have this trend line holding down the market. So there you go. Essentially, we need a breakout above this trend line from a short-term perspective, which will definitely take the markets on the daily chart, take the markets above this channel up. So unless that happens, expect the index to drag further down towards the psychological 30K mark on the downside, and on the upside 31,500. So to sum it up, the way the Nifty and the Bank Nifty are placed, long-term picture is still intact. It is bullish. There are no serious signs of damage on the long-term charts. So these corrections we should look into as healthy bull market corrections. When we look at the daily charts, we figure out that both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty has created a falling channel for itself. When I say it has created a falling channel, it means that it essentially has bent down, and it is now showing tendencies of extending this short-term correction. Amidst all of this, there is pretty good degree of volatility we have to live with, but from a trading perspective, we being especially swing trading approach, we use to the main approach that we use is to sell on a rise and buy on a dip. I think sell on a rise is the approach to have going forward, right? So short term, I would say a little bearish. We will turn bullish once we have a nice breakout above that falling channel. We expect that breakout because the long-term pictures are strong, but we will not be surprised if Nifty breaks below 12K or the Bank Nifty comes close to the 30K mark. All right, so let's say we are cautiously bearish in the market. So that's the view of this week. As I said some time back, I'll attach the view of the previous Wednesday, the video which I did not upload after this one. And like always, mentorship traders, please feel free to ask the doubts and questions that you'll have, the trades that you did. Let's start discussing these. So good evening, mentorship traders. Once again, we are on the 12th of Feb 2020. Wednesday's evening session at 8:30. Thank you for joining in. As always, first, we will take a look at the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. And then, as usual, we'll take up your doubts and questions. Today, as I said some time back, I'm using my desktop to conduct tonight's session. And we generally use the tradingview.com to analyze our index views. So this will take me to the Nifty chart. Yes. So This is the daily chart of Nifty. Let's do a top-down approach like we do always. And we have a 2-week bounce back. A couple of more days to go on the last bar. But we had a pretty nice bounce back last week and it's holding. No significant change to our medium to long-term view. That's mainly because the long-term blue channel is sustaining well. The worry was this yellow channel, the prices have dipped inside it, now it's gone outside, so it's kind of all over the place now. We're not able to draw any new channels on the weekly chart yet, so we will not make any changes and go one time frame lower to the daily chart. Now the daily chart, you can clearly see that the last candle's high, and I'll use the new tools which GoToMeeting offers. So this last candle's high over here, we can clearly see has found resistance from this rising blue channel from where the market had broken off. So supports are now acting as resistances. And considering that the momentum over here is picking up, but not at the rate at which price did, we might see some amount of ease off in the market, that is the Nifty. A better understanding of this we will get if we take a look at the 75-minute or the hourly chart. And you remember that we have this level drawn here, the gap. Over here we had falling gap. And that's exactly from where the markets have stalled today's trade so far. The 75-minute time frame, this channel as of now is not of much use, so we would like to take it out. In fact, if I have to draw a new channel based on the behavior of these price and relative strength index, then I would rather draw something like this, for which you would know that I would require the line chart. And the channel breakout that is there on my 75-minute chart is something like this. So going forward, if this resistances play out over the next 2 days, Thursday, Friday, and if the market decides to come down, then the first zone of support should be somewhere here. And if the market decides to correct furthermore, then it will dip inside the zone of this channel. And in that case, the 12,000 psychological level over here will act as the next zone of support. So that's the kind of view that we can make out on the Nifty. The Nifty is bounced back really well, which is clear from the move that we see in our daily chart. It's coming close to intraday falling gaps. It is close to erstwhile supports, which now can act as current resistances. So for the next 2 days, we'll be a little careful. When it comes to adding long trades, be a little careful. Bank Nifty. The Nifty Bank on the weekly charts are well within this rising red channel. Similarly, no significant change to our view. The medium to long-term view on the Bank Nifty or the Nifty Bank stays the same, bullish. So far, so good. It's holding well to the bounce back that we saw last week. Same like Nifty. One time frame lower. And we notice that in this case also, the index has inched little within this erstwhile channel. Nifty is reacting from the channel, Bank Nifty is right at the channel, little above that channel. So it is at short-term resistances. In this case, the momentum is also supporting the Bank Nifty daily chart very well. What about the 75-minute charts? The 75-minute charts stalls at this line which we drew in our last class, or should I say last interaction that we did. So essentially, the Bank Nifty is also at trend line resistances. And can we have a similar kind of channels that we drew for Nifty? Well, if I look at the line chart, not really. On the contrary, if you look very closely, you can see that the prices have gone up and the momentum index is slowing down. So it gives me a sense that markets might slow down a little bit, and it should. It ideally should. If it wants to go further up, a little slowdown will not be that bad. So we get a sense from the multiple timeframes of both the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty that both the indices have played off well. They have bounced back. We can take this level out. It's not of much use now. This level held really well, this Fibonacci, 50%. So both the indices had bounced back exceptionally well. Most of the correction that you found due to the budget is behind us now. And now probably it's time for the index to consolidate a little bit. One interesting thing is our moving averages suggest that we are in a short-term downtrend. So if we sum it up, number one, looking at Nifty and Bank Nifty, stay cautiously bullish for the next 2 days. If you get any good swing short trade, rather go with that. That's exactly what I did today, and many of our mentorship traders have also done that. So that we will talk towards the second half of this evening session. But bottom line, cautiously bullish because Nifty and Bank Nifty are at short-term resistances. Won't be surprised if Thursday, Friday leads to some amount of correction. Will not be adding up long trades aggressively. If I do, it will be intraday in nature. And looking forward for some good shorting opportunities for the next couple of trading sessions. That's our take on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. The trigger will come once it slips below the day's low. For the Bank Nifty, if it breaks today's low, and similarly for the Nifty, once it slips below today's low, that's what will trigger a bit of ease off, sell-off in both the indices. And in case of Bank Nifty, do keep a close watch on HDFC Bank. If that happens, HDFC Bank should also ease off. Right? So that's our take on the index, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Now we will go into our trades that we did today and this week, and the trades that we'll be looking forward to do in the coming few days. So, mentorship traders, feel free to post your doubts and questions.